am joining us today after appropriately a Mother's Day event with my colleague, Brittany Pedersen. She and I are proud moms in Congress making our way through, and it is apt to precede my introduction of Sarah today. It is my honor to welcome you, Sarah, to today's hearing. Sarah Wells is the founder and CEO of her own company, Sarah Wells Bags. For over a decade, Sarah's business has provided new parents with the products they need to raise their families, enabling moms to breastfeed their newborns with comfort and ease. From breast pump bags to bras and clothing, Sarah's team has made life easier for women. But Trump's tariffs are already taking a hit to their businesses, forcing them to include this added tax to new orders. It's the last thing a new mom needs, or a small business owner. One of the things that stood out to me as I looked at Sarah's incredible bags was reminding my days as a new mom when I was working at the Justice Department, traveling on the train, lugging my breast pump bag back and forth. And I thought, wow, the innovations have surely changed. I see Debbie nodding her head as well. So kudos to you. Keep innovating, keep creating. Where were you when we needed you? But that's exactly what Trump's tariffs are doing. They are stifling this type of innovation, creativity, and adding an unnecessary price hike to American consumers. Sarah, thank you for joining us today. You are now recognized.
Good morning, co-chairs and members of the committee. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Sarah Wells. Ironically, my small business journey actually started here on Capitol Hill, where I had encouragement from a friend. At the time, I was in the nonprofit sector. I was struggling to balance being a new mom and a working professional, very similar to how you described. She suggested that I take up those challenges and these solutions I was dreaming of for breast pump bags and more, and turn them into a business to help other moms. Right now, these tariffs are crushing that work. The final handbags that I import from China are subject to multiple layers of tariffs. That base duty, the Section 301 tariffs, and now the new 2025 tariffs, pushing my burden to upwards of 200% before my products even reach our warehouse. I've tried to move my manufacturing to the United States, actually at least a half a dozen times, and most recently 10 days ago. There is no handbag manufacturing infrastructure in the US at scale. It just doesn't exist. And a single backpack in my product line relies on 15 different manufacturers and suppliers to make that one bag. Even if a domestic factory could do the final assembly of the product, I would still need to import raw materials from over a dozen global partners, and all of that would be subject to these tariffs. These are not hypothetical costs. On a recent shipment I brought in just a couple of months ago when the 2025 tariff was set at 20%, I paid a surprise $15,000 fee just to release my goods from the port. That alone was devastating. But now under the new rules and the increased tariff rate, that same shipment would cost me an extra $86,000 in duties. That's 1 or 2 salaries on my team. That kind of burden jeopardizes every job I've created. Tariffs also force me to raise prices on the new parents that rely on our products. This is the families that are facing their postpartum recovery, feeding journeys, and we all know the life with a newborn. The threat to small businesses isn't prospective, it's happening right now. This last week, I cut back the hours on my team, I gave up my office lease, I paused hiring, I cut my marketing, I canceled all new product development, and I've scaled back my community giving. We need a trade policy that is transparent, predictable, and fair. We're asking for a fair shot at keeping the American dream alive. I didn't build this business for myself alone. I built it for the moms who really deserve those solutions in the marketplace, and for the American workers who count on the jobs with my company. This is what building in America is supposed to look like. Real people creating real solutions with heart, hustle, and hope. When small businesses are threatened, the promise of American entrepreneurship is on the line. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my story today.
It's just astounding. You know, if you had a dollar for every time politicians say small businesses are the backbone of our economy, you would not be sitting here today. So let's live it. You know, we talk a lot about the American dream, but everything this administration is doing is cutting it off. It takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of courage to say, I have a dream and I'm going to open a small business. That is a huge leap of faith. You expect a lot of challenges. There are things, I mean, small businesses, entrepreneurs, there's so many things that come at you every single day. But what you shouldn't have is to have everything turned upside down. And in pursuit of tax cuts for the very wealthiest Americans who already have great success, we're putting in this nonsense in your way.